age is just a number. And there's no better industry that demonstrates that than the world of professional wrestling. Because unlike, say, an NFL running back where you're already washed up by age 29, a wrestler seems to hit their stride in their 30s and into their 40s, and some even continue into their 50s and 60s. So today what we're going to be looking at is the best wrestler at each age from age 25 to age 50. And hey, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm really confident that you're going to like this channel because we upload daily wrestling content. We're wrestling nerds here, baby. Subscribe. All right, so I decided to start at 25 because we do have wrestlers in NXT that are under the age of 25, but really, like, they're still trying to find their footing. Heck, we even have Thea Hale at 19. So I decided to start at 25 because I think this is where wrestlers have started to hit their stride in their career. And of course, this is all as of the making of August 2023. So if you're watching this down the line 5 years later, they're not the same age anymore. So obviously, to clarify that. So at age 25, the best wrestler, in my opinion, currently is Braun Breaker. This guy is a machine. This guy is going to be the future for the next 20 years for the WWE. He brings a level of intensity that we haven't seen since young Goldberg, while at the same time being a much better technician and much safer worker. This guy is a bona fide world champion. I love what they're doing with him in NXT right now, which is not rushing him to the main roster just yet because he had this long 2-year run as the good guy smiling babyface, but now they're letting him really develop his character as this almost kind of like Dom from Fast and Furious character, where he's now playing the heel, this badass mother effer. And I think this is going to work really well in terms of helping him develop his range so that when he's on the main roster, he doesn't just get pigeonholed as one type of character. I see a lot of great things for Braun Breaker, and he's already doing fantastic things. At age 26, we have... I cheated, okay? I couldn't pick between the two, so I went with them as a couple. Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. Both of these two 26-year-olds are absolutely amazing. They're great individually, and they're fantastic, even better when they're together on screen. Rhea Ripley is already carving out a Hall of Fame-worthy career for herself, and Dominic Mysterio reinvented and really found the character that's going to work for him for the rest of his wrestling career. These two are magic. I cannot wait to see what else they do over the next several years. At age 27, I have, what the hell is, okay, I thought this was a picture. I did not think that I picked the GIF. Okay, that's my bad, and I'm sorry if this is alarming anybody. But yeah, I couldn't find really any other 27-year-old on the roster, so it's Mansoor of the Maxine male models that don't really exist anymore. But whatever, he's young. He's got a long time to really develop and find himself still. I'm just sorry that I picked this GIF. At age 28, I think we can all agree the undeniable best 28-year-old, maybe even the best wrestler in his 20s. It's Logan Paul, baby. What do you think? I was gonna pick someone else aside from the Maverick himself, the best heel in the business? It's Logan Paul all day, every day. You guys know I'm gonna gush about this guy, even though I'm currently memeing at the moment. But yeah, Logan Paul is phenomenal. He is working at the rate that you might see a 35, 36-year-old wrestler currently be doing, and he's doing it at 28 with only like 2 years of experience. This guy's fantastic, and he takes the nod for the best 28-year-old. At 29, you are going to be shocked because I'm going back to NXT, and I'm taking Carmelo Hayes. I think Carmelo Hayes is long overdue for a main roster push, but similar to Braun Breaker, I think they're really taking their time in ensuring that Carmelo Hayes has a range to be able to play anything at any moment when he gets called up to the main roster, because he went from being a full-time, full-length heel on NXT to now playing the traditional babyface role. So I think this is good, again, for his development, for his acting skills, and once they feel like he's ready to go into the main roster, he's going to have every tool in the arsenal to have a great career. Carmelo Hayes is him. He's going to be a fantastic addition to the main roster. And this is where wrestlers really begin begin to hit their stride. You are going to see some absolute bangers in the 30s. And number 30, we have, well, less of a banger because there aren't actually that many like dead-on 30-year-olds in the WWE. But I ended up going with Shotzi Blackheart, obviously already a member of the main roster. She's had plenty of screen time. She has now changed her character to this kind of like psychotic Joker that's chasing around Bayley and terrorizing her. I'm very intrigued in terms of what they plan on doing with her in the future. I'm not the biggest fan of her in-ring work, but there's still plenty of time for that to improve. The best 30-year-old, again, there wasn't a lot of competition at 30, but I'm taking Shotzi Blackheart. At 31, there wasn't too much competition either, but still, I am happy to say that Otis is the best 31-year-old in the WWE roster. I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was like 38, but okay, it is what it is. Otis is fantastic. He has improved year over year. He is an impressive specimen in the ring in terms of what he's able to do, the type of mobility that he has for a guy that size, and working alongside Master Gable has really shown us what Otis is capable of in terms of playing a character, and he has done a fantastic job as the muscle behind Alpha Academy. So yeah, best 31-year-old on the roster. At 32, there were actually quite a few great options. Ultimately, I ended up going with one of the ladies. I ended up going with Miss Alexa Bliss, who at this point really is one of the veterans in the women's locker room, but at any moment you can put her into the main event and you know that she's going to have a great match. She's going to tell a compelling story. But yeah, like she still has so much left in her career, and she's already accomplished so much. She's already arguably carved out a Hall of Fame worthy career for herself, and she's still only 32 years old. At 33, there were also quite a few options, but I decided to go with an athletic freak, an athletic specimen, somebody that I think can be world champion within the next 5 years, and if they're developed properly, and that is Mr. Montez Ford. He's got it all. He's got the in-ring skills. He's got the look. He's got the work on the mic. I mean, it probably is going to help that he's married. I think he's married to Bianca Belair in terms of being side by side with somebody that's always going to be at the top of the pecking order. So I see a lot of great things for Montez Ford here in the future. And I mean, politics and mic skills aside, this guy is an absolute genetic freak. What he's able to do in the ring leaves my jaw on the ground. I cannot wait to see. Hopefully they do some good things, but I cannot wait to see where they take Montez Ford in the future. And I think a great canary in the coal mine is going to be how he's treated during his time with Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business 2.0. The best 34-year-old, I mean, we just had Montez, so we might as well put in Bianca Belair. She has absolutely taken over the women's division on the main roster since her debut in 2020. And yeah, in the short amount of time that she's been on the main roster, she's already carved out a Hall of Fame worthy resume. Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania main event, multiple women's championships. Like, she is the John Cena of the women's division. A lot of people say that as a negative. Obviously, like, if I was her, like, to be called the John Cena of anything, like, that's a pretty damn good spot to be in. She's gonna be at the top of her game and at the top of the pecking order in the women's division for a long time. So if you don't like her, probably just get used to it, because we're gonna be seeing a lot more Bianca Belair. At 35, and again, the choices from 35, 36, 37 start to get real plethorous. Like, there's a lot to pick from. And at 35, I decided to go with Gunta Zarenganeral, who is on pace currently, as of the making of this video, to be the longest reigning, and also I already think he is the greatest intercontinental champion in WWE history. What he's already done in terms of his body of work is absolutely bananas. Just multiple 5-star plus matches from NXT UK, NXT Black and Gold, and now on the main roster. This guy is absolute money. he is the best 35-year-old. At 36, I was between two people. And honestly, I basically had to toss a coin. It was between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And as much as I like Becky Lynch more, I just think that Charlotte has had the better matches, and Charlotte has obviously accomplished more in the WWE. So I've decided to go with Charlotte, but if you went with Becky here, I wouldn't be mad because I think she's definitely worthy of this spot. But I had to go with the Queen. 37. This was an absolute dogfight, but unfortunately for all the 37-year-olds in the WWE, you know who else is 37? One of the greatest workers in the business today, and that would be Seth freaking Rollins. He's not my favorite character in the WWE. I love his in-ring work. He's just not somebody that I'm able to personally connect to the way that a lot of people do, but still, I'm smart enough to recognize greatness when we see it. And Seth Rollins definitely embodies greatness. He is a bona fide first ballot WWE Hall of Famer, and he is still at the top of his game. He is in the conversation for the best in-ring worker, not just in the WWE, but the entire planet. Seth Rollins is the best 37-year-old in the WWE. 38 was arguably the hardest choice. Actually, no, it was actually a really easy choice, but there are a lot of contenders because this is where people like Drew McIntyre are. We have Cody Rhodes here, but unfortunately for those two, so was the tribal chief Roman Reigns, who was on the greatest run arguably in WWE history with 3+ years as champion. And the second that he loses it, like it's going to be a monumental moment. And that is something that we haven't been able to say about a championship loss, right? Like a truly monumental championship loss. I can't remember really the last time that we had a championship loss that could be like mainstream newsworthy. And that's what's going to happen when Roman finally loses. But yeah, Roman reinvented himself and turned himself into the tribal chief, one of the best thing going on in the WWE. It's unfortunate that we don't get to see him as often as we'd like in matches, but hey, I guess that's what happens when you become the biggest attraction in the WWE and you can negotiate crazy good contracts. But yeah, Roman Reigns, undeniably the best 38-year-old. At 39, for me, it was between two, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I've always been more of a Kevin Owens guy myself. Whether it's both in-ring and character work, I just think that Kevin Owens is just all around better than Sami Zayn. I do like Sami Zayn, but I've only really started to fall in love with Sami Zayn recently during this Bloodline stuff. Well, I've been in love with Kevin Owens since his debut in NXT, so I had to go with my boy Kevin Owens. At 40, I had to go with a young buck who's really just starting his career. I decided to go with Damian Priest, who finally at 40 is in the main event, is in world title conversation, and much deserved because he has been putting in the years, but the current, as of the making of this video, Senor Money in the Bank, really it feels like his career is just getting started. But hey, you know what, sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes people get their big break at 25, 26 like a Brock Lesnar, and sometimes you just have to wait it out like a Damian Priest for your opportunity to be put in front of you and for you to be able to take that ball and run with it. And that's where we're at right now with Damian Priest. It just took him until 40. 41, I decided to go back to the ladies, another bona fide WWE Hall of Famer. If there was a women's wrestling Hall of Fame, I don't know if there is, but in my mind, I don't know if there is, but I wouldn't be mad if you decided to make her the very first inductee to it, because Asuka is absolutely amazing. She is phenomenal. She is the greatest women's champion in NXT history, in my opinion. She's in the Mount Rushmore of NXT, period. Like, I'm putting her alongside the men in the NXT Mount Rushmore. And of course, she has just had such a fantastic run on the main roster, even though the WWE never really has pulled the trigger on her as like the face of the women's division. She's always up there and she's always ready, but nobody's ready for her because nobody's ready for Asuka. Asuka is far and away the best 41-year-old on the roster. At 42, I had to go with my boy Finn Boy. Dude, can you believe that this guy's 42? Like, if you told me he was 30, I'd believe you. You put a little bit of Just for Men in his graying beard, and I'd believe 100% that this man is 30 because he's got the body of a 19-year-old. This guy seems like he's aging backwards in terms of his physical look. This guy operates on another level. He has found the fountain of youth. But aside from that, okay, I know I've been gushing about his looks and his age, but but also his body of work, his character work, like it's at a top echelon right now, and we're going to be seeing several more years of Finn Balor, and I can't wait. At 43, he's injured right now. I had a few options, but I could not go with the Viper Randy Orton, all right? Like, it's Randy freaking Orton. He is my third, what is it? Hang on. It's John Cena. No, he's my fourth favorite WWE superstar of all time. I couldn't keep him off of this list, as competitive as the 43-year-old mark is, because I believe The Miz is also in there. But to me, it wasn't even close. Like, the second I found out that Randy Orton was 43, I didn't even think twice. I immediately plastered him on here, because I truly believe that not only is he the best 43-year-old, but he's one of the greatest to ever grace a wrestling ring, period. At 44, I cheated because I couldn't find a 44-year-old WWE superstar, but he's almost 44, so I decided to go with Shinsuke Nakamura, okay? All right, if you want to sue me because he's technically still 43, whatever, talk to my lawyer, but this is the best I could do. I didn't want to just skip 44. At 45, we have a guy who just is getting better with age. Like, this guy every year seems to be improving. I had to go with Sheamus. Whatever is in the water, whatever it is that he's doing with these Celtic Warrior workouts, please share your magic, share your secrets, because Sheamus is improving year over year over year. And right now, this is peak Sheamus. And Sheamus has had a great career. Don't get me wrong. Before this peak Sheamus that we're seeing, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. But right now, I really think that, like, we're in the renaissance of Sheamus. Like, this is the best Sheamus has ever been. Sheamus, it's not even close. Best 45-year-old on the roster. At 46, I believe Brock Lesnar was also on here, but because of his part-time nature, I decided to go with AJ Styles. Of course, Brock Lesnar has the biggest accolades in the WWE, but AJ Styles has accolades all over the world, including the WWE. He's demonstrated that he can be a top guy in whichever company he decides to go to. AJ Styles is always must-see television, and he still moves around in the ring like he's 35. This man is an absolute marvel. AJ Styles, far and away, maybe not far and away, but the best 46-year-old in my opinion. 47, can you believe that this man, Bobby Lashley, is 47? My God, this guy is also another genetic freak that refuses to age. Bobby Lashley can still go in the ring like he's in his 30s, arguably better than when he was in his 30s. This man is an absolute marvel to behold. He's still a main eventer in the WWE with his current new faction with the Street Profits. We still don't know what it's called as of the making of this video, but at any moment, like, if you decide to put Bobby Lashley in the world title picture, no one is going to bat an eye. They're going to say, yeah, of course, yeah, let's toss Bobby Lashley in there. He's absolutely a legitimate threat to any world title contender. Hello, I'm recording and you ruined my video. What is this? At 48, okay, we're really starting to peak here, all right, because I don't think that he's at his best anymore, but he's current United States champion. At 48, this man is a mid-card champion. It is the legend, the already Hall of Famer, Rey Mysterio. There weren't too many options at 48, I'm going to be honest. But if there were lots of options, Rey Mysterio would probably be still at the very top of that list, because Rey Mysterio is an absolute legend. Of course, he's going to be in this list. At 49, again, not very many options, but we're still dealing with a WWE legend Hall of Famer who's still going at a really, really high rate and pace, and that is Edge, whose career was robbed from us so early on in the 2010s, but miraculously came back to give us another final wonderful run. Thank you, Edge, but you don't have anything left to prove to us. If Edge were to retire this week or next year, cats off, because this man has done it all in the WWE. He didn't need to come back to cement his legacy, but his return cemented him to me as one of the greatest of all time. And at 50, look, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like older women. I think that this is like one of the hottest human beings I've ever seen in my life. And I would, oh man, the things I would do. Your mom. All right, get out of here.